Hello friends, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll look at the SQL Server software. It is called SQL Management Studio. So if you install it, it will show up like this. And if you need to know how to install this, you can find a lot of videos in the YouTube. If you don't find anything, please let me know in the comments. I can show you how you can install this software in your computer. So once you install it, you can see this icon. You can just click on it. So once you open it, you will see something like this, which is a window which is asking you to connect to a server. So I named my server as easy coding. So this is my server. So this is the entire name is my server. So I'll say once I have my server name entered, you can type it, or if you know, you can copy paste it as well. So once you have the server name entered here, you can just click on connect. So now we need to know what are all the available options we have in this SQL Server Management Studio. We simply call it as SSMS. So you can just say SSMS, then it's a SQL Server Management Studio. So once you have it, you have this one very important, which is Object Explorer, and you have an option where you can create a new query. So once you click on this, it will open something like this. This is a window where you can write all your queries. So you have Object Explorer on here, and you have the query window. So this query window is used to write all the queries. So this is an Object Explorer. So you can also pin this uh, Explorer so that it can stay on your left side of the screen. So now you need to know what other options we have. So let's try to understand first what we see in these screens, right? So you have something where it says connection, connect, disconnect. So nothing but connecting to a server, disconnecting from the server. And you have here, if you see, it will, this query window will tell you this query window is connected to which server and what is the username who is connected to this server. And also it will show you what is the database you connected to the server. So by default, it will connect to the master database. And if you see in this server, if you see there is a folder called databases, you can expand it to see what are all available databases you have. So we have two databases. One is data manager and data store. Next, we have these options where it says file. You have all bunch of different options here we can explore along the way. And then you have view where you have some shortcuts for opening some windows in the same software. So if you want to anytime, let's say if you auto hide this, if you are not pinning this Object Explorer, then you can bring it back by typing F8 in your keyboard. So that will always bring you your Object Explorer. And if you see these options, here we have few options where it says, few menus where it says file, edit, view, query, project, tools, windows, help. So here most of the options we may not be using all the time. So file, you already know, this is the basic options, like to save a file, create a new query window. If you write some code, you can save that file and things like that. Edit is nothing but the same way that we have in any other software to cut, copy, paste, select all these things. So you will be doing using these shortcuts all the time. So and in the view, you will find some shortcuts to bring back your Object Explorer. And if you are writing the SQL Server into a project, then you can use a Solution Explorer and things like that. So you can play with it. Once you install it, you try to play with all these options. This is very helpful to know. If you know the options better, you can do a lot of things with these queries. And the other ones is like, if you see here, these are the options that that can be used for DDL queries, which is like you if you want to change your database structure, modify your database, um, tune your database how it should behave. So these are the queries that you should be using. But as a developer, we will not be focusing on this. This is pretty much same. The control X, control V, control copy, control paste, and things like that. And here this is an execute option. If you click F5, that this query, whatever the query you write here, will be executed. You can also use control E, which is same as F5. And this is something parse, right? Control F. So what this will do is like, let's say if you write a query in the SQL Server window, and if you are not sure if that query is right or wrong, then you can use this option so that SQL Server will tell you if your query is correct or wrong. So before you executing and making a commit into the transaction, you can use this option to make sure your query is working as expected on. If it is something wrong, then it will throw some error, something like this. So it will say, okay, there is some error in some of your query. So it is very useful option. Try using this as well. And then you have bunch of other options. We can discuss that in the future. So if you see these three options are something how your results will look like. For example, if I open any one of the tables, so I have this query. So I am able to see this in a grid view format because my um, query is set to show the results in a grid view. So grid is nothing but columns and cells. So this shows like a cell. But if you change this to results to text, so it will show in the text format where you can uh, you can copy it to a file and manipulate the data if you want to. So this is all like you can copy it to text file, and if you want to save it or manipulate the data, you can do that. So this is all in the text format. So similar way, you have this one where it says results to file. Nothing what if you change this as an option, then you click on execute, it will ask you where your file is supposed to be saved. So instead of making a text and you copying it manually, so SQL Server itself will create a file. You just have to give it a location so that it can save that file for you. So those are the options. In here we have this option called activity monitor. This will tell you like what are the processes running currently against the server, and how expensive those are, like is it taking time, do we need to um, kill those some of the queries which is taking long time. We can do that using this activity monitor. Usually the developers will not be able to access this uh, because the administrator will disable this access to the developers, so we'll not be much worried about this one. And we have the other option where we will be always using that is this one, which is comment. So you can also see control K and C is the shortcut. So nothing but like if you want to comment this, if you don't want some code to be executed, you can either press control C, which will make you these two colons, which is nothing but commenting the lines of code. Or else you can, if you want to undo it, you can say control U. You can just select everything and say control U, control A, control U, control K U, my bad. So that will undo the results. So the same thing can be achieved from here in the visually. You can click on this, that will be commented. If you click on this one, it will undo the comments. So likewise, you can play with all the options. Try to know the options before we jump onto the actual uh, queries. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.